that's something I kind of been working on lately because I haven't really been having fun out there. I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself, and sometimes you just need to, I guess, flex your muscles to get back having fun with it.
At the end of the first half on that three, Jordan, was it you just tweak your foot? What did you do, and you were able to come back pretty strong?
Yeah, I just came down on his foot and rolled it pretty good, but I mean, a lot of basketball players injure their ankles, so it's nothing new for me.
Did you just tape it up at halftime, or what did you do to come back?
Yeah, I just went to the locker room, retaped it, and got back out there.
When you're playing your best basketball as a team, everyone seems like they're having fun. That seemed to have been missing. So it was kind of blowing the steam off with that tonight?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Obviously, we need one of these games to kind of just let ourselves know that everything's okay. Like we still have a lot of season left, and we're able to keep playing how we know we're capable of playing. And I can honestly say a lot of it starts with me and trying to get the team motivated and keep going. And Tyler does a really good job of that. And Bear picked us up tonight. And but I want to keep having that kind of people look for me to kind of pick the team up. And I feel like when we're able to do that, we're really playing well as a team.
Tyler, I might have missed something, but what's so funny about Jordan flexing his muscles?
I've known Jordan for over 2 years now, and I've never seen him flex, like, period, like in the weight room, like practice, locker room, never. And he's strong, but he's not the strongest guy, so I wouldn't necessarily pick Jordan to be the one flexing on the ground after and one, but he did it deservingly so. Like, that was a tough play, so I'm all for it, and future flexes.
Jordan, you talked about you feeling a little pressure on yourself. How do you deal with that? How do you try to get that off your shoulders when, you know, the ball's in your hands so much and, you know, everyone's watching every move you make? How do you do it?
Right, obviously, I did a pretty good job of that in the later season last year, and just watching a lot of film from what I did last year in the NIT, and played pretty well in the Big Ten tournament, and just looking back at those games and not really dwelling on the games I've had this season. Because obviously you want to learn from your past, but you don't want to keep dwelling on it and keep looking back on it. You want to have a little optimism in your life, and I think that's something I started looking on the past couple of weeks, and it's been instrumental for me.
Well, a lot of your turnovers too earlier in the year were kind of the unforced variety that we never saw you make last year. Is that the pressure showing that you were feeling?
I guess you could say that, yeah. I mean, with Pete gone, I feel like I probably added a little too much pressure on myself coming into the season because I feel like I need to do a lot more. And I think some of us, we could probably say the same thing. And when we're all going and we're all leaning on each other instead of going one-on-one, we're a lot better as a team. And I think we're starting to learn that as the season moves forward.
It looked like it was probably the most crisp performance passing the ball from the perimeter into the post. So for both of you, what made that work so well today? Just being able to get the ball inside to you, Tyler, and then also find those lanes passing the ball.
I think it was a collective effort between the guards and the bigs. You know, obviously we knew they were going to double team us on post catches we caught on the block or further out. And so, you know, as bigs, we tried to make sure we could seal guys and get two-footed paint catches so we don't get the number of catch and finish. And, you know, the guards did a great job, you know, keep swinging it and, you know, looking over the top, you know, instead of just regular, you know, bounce pass, post entries to put us in bad positions. So they did a really good job of just leading us straight to the rim so we can get easy buckets. And, you know, thanks to guys like him, you know, Bear, Macy, Ahmad, Luka, even Ryan, I was able to get a lot of just straight layups, so I didn't have to work really hard for my points necessarily.
We'll take two more if you have it.
How tough is Cordell Pencil? We saw him throw a slider for either one of you guys, and you guys kind of got up on that one.
Yeah, he's always been an energy guy for us, and I mean, anytime you have a laceration to the bone and you're playing 2 games later, that kind of just is monumental on what kind of person he is, and he's one of those guys he's been through a lot in his life with injuries and stuff like that, and he's just always been staying positive no matter what. And he could have, I mean, when we all got the news that he could have broke his leg after Iowa State, we were all devastated for him, but luckily that wasn't the case, and it was just a laceration, and he kept staying positive, and he really only had one practice to get ready for this game, and for him to come out like he did just shows a lot about him.
Tyler, 6 turnovers, some early ones. Did it take getting patient, kind of settling in for you offensively to get going?
Yeah. I think early in the game, you know, I knew they were going to double me, but, you know, I was just trying to make, you know, the perfect play. And, I'm going to make mistakes, but my job is to continue to try to minimize those. And I think my mistakes today were me being aggressive, so I'm not going to stop being aggressive, but I think I do need to be able to read things a little bit better, be more careful with the ball, and so that's something that I'm going to work on and continue to try to get better at.
Okay, thanks, guys.
I do, yeah. Had a chance to play here a few times in high school. Very comfortable here.
Twice, right? Twice?
Twice, yeah. Well, 2 tournaments, yeah. So I think like 4 games, or 4 or 5 games. So just really do enjoy playing here in Des Moines. Great atmosphere. Obviously, having a lot of Hawkeye supporters out here. This part of the country, this part of the state. So really enjoyed playing here and obviously getting a win.
Yeah, 2 years ago you had like 6 blocks against Drake. Last year you had your first career double-double, and today career high in rebounding and steals. So.
Yeah, I think it's it's always nice to come to the Hy-Vee Classic, and play here. And I think more than anything, I think this has always been a part of the season where we're able to really put a game plan together. It's something that we really did today, and being able to put a whole game plan together for 40 minutes. I think that's more of a testament to our team than any personal accolades.
Coach said you were all week. There was a sense he sensed that you were going to have a really good game because you were engaged and total in the game plan, like you say. Did you have a confident feeling going into this game because of that?
Yeah, I thought we had some really good practices leading up to this game. I think that's always a good indicator of how we're going to perform, on game day. So I was really happy with our practices. I think they were more intense. They weren't as long because we had finals. Guys had to go to take finals and stuff. So they were shorter, more intense, and more focused. So I think we did have a good string of practices leading up to this game, and that showed today.
Second half, obviously much better for you guys than the first. Was there a difference in your mind?
I think we did want to continue to execute some of the things we did well in the first half. We wanted to go inside Tyler and continue to run and continue to press. So I thought we did those things really well. And I think more than anything, we only gave him one shot. Drake's a pretty scrappy team, and they pride themselves on getting 50-50 balls and offensive rebounds, loose balls, things like that. So we were able to get those balls and get all those rebounds, and I think that was really beneficial for us.
You had a couple point blank misses right at the start. Were you rushing things or what?
Yeah, I think I didn't really have my full focus, trying to put the ball in, and that's what I got to do. I got to focus that in, and I'd like to publicly apologize to Jordan Bohannon. He gave me a assist right on a platter, and I missed it. So I got some grief from him. But those are things that I'll make in the future, so I'm not too worried about that.
Is this the first time you felt like the old Nicholas Barrett?
Yeah, I think more so than just obviously this season we've had some struggles. That's no secret. So I think instead of viewing it from a personal standpoint, viewing it collectively, how we were able to really execute our game plan today. I think this is the first example of that, and when we do that, obviously it's going to yield good results. So I was happy about that, and I was happy that I could play an important role in that.
How hard was that for you when you were sitting out and the team was struggling and you wanted to play so bad and you were watching them? That had to be kind of hard for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was difficult watching the Caymans, unfortunately. But at the same time, I was able to get back, at the scheduled day that I wanted to. So I was happy about that, and really trying to get back into the swing of things. Obviously it's just a pinky finger, but it takes me out for a few weeks. So just getting back into a good rhythm, and getting my energy back, my conditioning back. Those are things that I was happy with.
Yeah, was it hard for you to lead when you're injured? Is it harder for you to lead, and do you feel like you've been able to kind of increase that now that you're back in the lineup?
It's definitely a bit more difficult to lead from the bench. Obviously it's once you're out on the floor, you can communicate with guys better. But I still tried to lend some advice to some of these young guys. Still try to do some of the things that I would be doing otherwise. But obviously getting a chance to be on the floor and kind of directing things, that's going to be more effective to anybody. So I was happy to get back on the floor and finally play well.
Does it feel like you've been able to? This team looked like it needed a leader when it was struggling. Is that your role? Do you need to be that as the upperclassman, the experienced guy here? I know there are a lot of leaders, but there needs to be a guy that kind of takes the bull by the horns.
Yeah, I think there's definitely times where people need to take direction, take leadership, and I think we do have some guys that have been great leaders so far. But there is something to say about experience, for sure, and understanding just how the season works. A lot of these young guys, this is their first full season. This is my fourth, so I've got an idea of what's going to happen. What parts of the season are going to look like. So just trying to take that leadership role. I've always prided myself in that, and now being back on the court and playing the way I need to be playing, then I can definitely take that to another level.
It's kind of hard to lose the game.
So was it a dunk?
I'm gonna count it.
Are you gonna count it?
Yeah, I mean, I hit the rim, so.
I'm gonna call it a look. It was like half layup, half dunk.
Well, I mean, I went up, like, expecting to lay it in, and then I realized I was high enough, so I kind of just turned my hand over. But I'll watch it back, and I'll let you guys know what I think.
Was it your first career dunk? You were dunking against one?
As a Hawkeye, yes. It's my first one. It's my first one as a Hawkeye.
Think about the press. You were sitting together with all of your press. They got 4 senior guards, and they seemed flustered at times. What was so effective about your press?
I think that we were just playing it very well. We knew going into the game, we watched enough film on them to know that they don't like pressure, and they were kind of timid in the backcourt. And I think Nicholas did a great job at the top of the press. Ahmad, whoever was up there at the time, and then Jordan, our wings, whoever our wings were doing a great job making them keep the ball moving side to side. And they didn't want to advance the ball at all because they knew a trap was coming. So I think we did a great job keeping them in that and throwing them out of rhythm on offense.
The coach said that, or Tyler said that Nicholas's play, Bear's play, is kind of contagious, infectious. Can you talk about that a little bit? It seems like you guys feed off of that energy and intensity.
Yeah, I mean, ever since Nicholas has gotten here, he's kind of been that guy where he may not fill up the stat sheet, but what he's doing in the game is definitely going to positively affect your game. I mean, tonight he was doing it on the stat sheet and just mentally and emotionally. He brings so much emotion in the game and so much energy that allows you guys allows our team to come together as a unit.
Yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed playing here.
It's awesome knowing that you have a guy like that where you can count on making big plays, hustle plays, and it just makes you want to go out there and do the same.
It seemed like the team during parts of the season has lacked leadership or a guy to just say, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Is he that guy? Is he the guy? I mean, he's been through, this is his 4th year, so he's had more experience than pretty much everybody else.
Yeah, I think definitely him. Jordan's a guy like that. Ahmad as well. I try to do everything I can on the floor just to get everybody going, whether it's taking a charge or maybe just yelling here or there, just to get that energy going a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Bear is definitely a guy that is going to bring that energy and make sure we're all locked in into the game defensively and offensively.
Jordan talked about putting too much pressure on himself early in the season. It seemed like a lot of you guys were doing that. Did you guys feel some pressure? There were some expectations for you guys this year, and it seems like the last, even Iowa State, you guys are more loose, having more fun, just kind of playing the game.
I think honestly we were all caught up in our individual play. I mean we had a lot of freshmen last year, a lot of young guys that were doing a lot of really good things, and I mean all of us had expectations, whether it was from media or ourselves, of just improving and getting those numbers better to help the team. And sometimes when your shot's not falling or you're giving up easy baskets in transition or turning the ball over, you kind of just lose it. And I think we were doing that a lot earlier in the year. But I think that now we've kind of come together as a team and realized that, listen, if we can keep these little things that have been bothering us throughout that stretch of losses, if we can keep those contained, then we're going to be fine. We're going to play together as a team, and the ball's going to go on the move, and we're going to get stopped. So I think that we're starting on that path. We're not fully to where we want to be, but we're definitely on the path of where we want to be.
How are you feeling? I mean, were you close to not going today?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't dressed until about 11:45, 11:50 for our stretching at 12, but I didn't know I was going to go. And, I was kind of up in the air, and our trainer said, I think we should at least sit you up just in case Coach wants to go with you, and he kind of gave me a nod early in the game, but I was excited that he gave me the opportunity, and I knew I was just going to play as myself and do what I had to do.
Does it feel okay? I mean, is it after the fact?
Yeah, it's a little sore. We got it taken care of. We got a bandage on it. Got everything that we need to make sure it's healing properly. But yeah, I think that I'll be fine from here on out.
Thanks, Chris.